There's a strange magic that comes with looking younger than your age. It's a gift that some of us cherish while others feel burdened by it. At first glance, it seems like a blessing. But as we peel back the layers, we begin to see that there is more than meets the eye. What is it about looking youthful that stirs up such complex emotions and reactions from those around us? Why does society place such significance on appearance? And how does this shape the way we view ourselves and others? Could there be a hidden meaning behind this seemingly innocent trait? Let's dive into the enigma of looking younger than our years, unraveling the mysteries and uncovering what it truly says about us. Imagine for a moment you've just turned 40, yet you still get mistaken for someone in their 20s. Your friends, colleagues, and even strangers can't help but shower you with compliments on how young you look. It feels great, right? At first, the praise boosts your confidence, fills you with pride, and even lifts your spirits. But wait, have you ever wondered if there's something deeper going on? Beneath the surface of this youthful appearance, is there a hidden meaning? Does looking younger than your age serve as a mere aesthetic advantage? Or is it more about how you connect with the world, how others perceive you, and how you perceive yourself? In our culture, youthfulness is often synonymous with vitality, beauty, and success. So when you defy the natural passage of time, it's as though you possess some secret key to eternal youth. But here's the catch. While looking younger than your years might be celebrated on the surface, it can also stir unease in others. There's a tension that bubbles beneath the compliments. People may feel jealous, unsure of their own aging process, or even threatened by your appearance. There is no denying it. Looking young can sometimes be a double-edged sword. It attracts attention, but it also stirs hidden insecurities. Looking younger than your age isn't just about genetics or skincare routines, it taps into deeper psychological forces. Studies show that people who appear younger are often treated differently, sometimes even receiving more job opportunities, better social treatment, and greater admiration. But is that truly a blessing? Could it be that this perceived youth serves as a mask, keeping us from being seen for who we truly are? Could it be a trap, one that prevents others from recognizing the depth of our experience, wisdom, and true self? These are uncomfortable questions, but they must be addressed to fully understand what it means to look younger than your age. There is something both empowering and unsettling about how people react when they are confronted with a youthful appearance. On one hand, they are drawn to it, fascinated by the idea of defying time, while on the other hand, they may be skeptical, questioning how you maintain such a look. Is it possible that looking young makes others feel inadequate, as though they themselves haven't figured out the secret to agelessness? It's a complex web of emotions and societal pressure. We live in a world that worships beauty and youth, but we must also confront the darker side of this obsession, where looking younger becomes a performance, one that involves maintaining an image, keeping up with expectations, and hiding our vulnerabilities. The truth is, looking younger than your age can sometimes make it harder to be taken seriously. You may find yourself being dismissed or underestimated in professional settings, despite the vast experiences and knowledge you've accumulated over the years. It's as though your appearance undermines the credibility that should come with age. But don't be fooled. The struggle to be taken seriously is not only about how we appear, but about how society values experience and authority versus appearance. What does it say about a world that places so much stock in how we look rather than what we know or how we think? Interestingly, the fascination with youth doesn't just affect those who look young, but also those around them. It's a reflection of how obsessed we are with trying to stop the inevitable march of time. In some ways, looking younger than your age becomes a symbol of control. It represents the illusion that we can outsmart time, that we can freeze ourselves in a moment of perpetual youth. But in this quest to maintain an ageless appearance, do we risk losing touch with our authentic selves? Does the desire to look younger overshadow our ability to embrace the wisdom and growth that naturally come with aging? It's a paradox that's hard to ignore. However, it's crucial to acknowledge that looking younger than your age isn't always a conscious choice. It could be the result of good genetics, healthy lifestyle habits, or even just sheer luck. And yet, in a society that values youth and beauty so highly, there's a psychological burden that accompanies this gift. People may start to scrutinize every detail of your appearance, questioning your methods, your routines, or even your motives. As you navigate the compliments and the attention, it's easy to feel as though you're being reduced to just your exterior, rather than being recognized for your full humanity, the sum of your experiences, your struggles, and your triumphs. There's no denying that our external appearance plays a significant role in how we're perceived. But how does it shape our internal reality? When you look younger than your age, you may feel trapped in a cycle of maintaining that image. Society constantly bombards us with expectations about beauty, youth, and perfection, and as a result, we begin to internalize these messages. What does it do to our psyche when we constantly feel the need to meet these standards? Do we become disconnected from who we truly are, constantly chasing an ideal that may not even align with our authentic self? There's a deeper meaning here, one that transcends the superficial obsession with beauty. Looking young is more than just a physical appearance. It is a reflection of how we relate to time, how we respond to the passage of years, and how we interpret our own worth. As you ponder the hidden meaning behind looking younger than your age, ask yourself, what does it truly represent? Is it merely a societal accolade, a fleeting compliment, or is it something more profound? The answers may not be easy to accept, but they are crucial to understanding the complexities of our relationship with age, beauty, and identity. When we begin to look younger than our age, the initial reaction from society can be overwhelmingly positive. People are often quick to offer compliments, and it feels like an instant boost to our self-esteem. Yet it's important to ask what lies beneath this seemingly harmless praise. Why do we place so much value on appearance, and why is youthfulness given such a premium in today's world? The simple truth is that society has created a system where looking youthful is often linked to greater success, happiness, and opportunity. But while this may seem flattering on the surface, it raises a crucial question. Is this obsession with youth distorting our true sense of self-worth? Consider how often you've been treated with more respect or admiration simply because you appear younger. People may look at you with surprise, admiring your youthful appearance while unknowingly disregarding the years of hard work, experience, and wisdom you've accumulated. This perception of ageless beauty, though flattering, carries its own set of challenges. Why are we so focused on maintaining an image of youth, and how does it affect the way we see ourselves and others? The deeper meaning behind looking younger than your years may lie in how it influences our identity and how we place value on our appearance over our experiences. What if looking younger is not just a result of good genes, but also a reflection of how we interact with the world around us? People often find that they are treated differently when they appear younger. They might be given more attention, more chances, or even more kindness. While this can feel uplifting, it also points to a subtle but significant truth. Appearance shapes how others perceive us, sometimes more than our abilities or knowledge. We live in a world where superficial qualities like how young we look are often prioritized over the intangible qualities of wisdom and experience. Could this obsession with youth be a sign of a deeper societal issue, an inability to see beyond the surface? However, the pressure to maintain a youthful appearance can come with its own set of psychological consequences. Constantly being seen as younger than you are can make it difficult for others to take you seriously. Your experience, expertise, and accomplishments may be downplayed, overshadowed by the fact that you look like someone who is still learning the ropes. There's a subtle but often present dismissiveness that accompanies youthfulness, as though youth equals inexperience. This psychological burden is one of the hidden meanings behind looking younger than your age. It's as if people are incapable of separating your youthful exterior from your seasoned interior, reducing you to a mere visual of someone too young to be credible. On the other hand, there are those who may find themselves in awe of their ability to maintain a youthful appearance. They can't help but take pride in it, thinking that their youthful look signals health, vibrancy, and success. This admiration can boost their sense of self, making them feel like they've mastered some secret to life. But as time passes, there comes a realization: maintaining this illusion of youth becomes an exhausting, never-ending quest. The truth is that time waits for no one. So while the world may continue to admire your youthful exterior, you may find yourself struggling to reconcile this external image with the internal changes you're going through. Is the constant pursuit of youth worth the effort? Is it possible to find peace with the aging process without resorting to the societal pressures that come with looking eternally young? Looking younger than your age often leads to conflicting feelings. While there are many benefits, there are also hidden costs. People may assume that you don't have the same depth of life experience or gravitas as those who look their age. But here's the kicker. Your life experiences, struggles, and triumphs are exactly what give you the wisdom and perspective that others might lack. These experiences are valuable, and they deserve to be acknowledged, not diminished because of how you appear. The psychological impact of being overlooked or underestimated because of your youthful appearance is real. It can make you feel invisible in spaces where your voice, your insights, and your abilities should matter most. But the hidden meaning doesn't just stop there. When you're constantly receiving praise for your youthful looks, it can create a sense of pressure. Pressure to always look the same, pressure to maintain that image, pressure to conform to an ideal that may not be true to who you really are. People can become fixated on the external rather than the internal, losing sight of what truly defines a person. This pressure to look youthful, to perpetuate a certain image, can create anxiety and self-doubt, pushing individuals to question their worth beyond just their looks. Are we more than what we see in the mirror? We must also consider how looking younger than our age influences our relationship with time. Youth is often seen as a symbol of endless potential and age of possibility. But when you look younger than you are, it can feel like you're stuck in that age, never quite able to move beyond it. Time becomes an elusive concept, one that you try to outrun or hold on to. The hidden meaning here is that looking youthful often prevents us from embracing the passage of time. We become attached to the idea of staying young forever, instead of accepting that every stage of life offers its own value. Time in this sense is both a gift and a reminder that life is fleeting and that each moment is precious regardless of how young or old we appear. Looking younger than your age also forces you to confront the uncomfortable truth about how deeply superficial our society has become. It's not enough to simply be good. We are constantly told that we must look a certain way, dress a certain way, and embody a certain image of beauty and youth. When you are young looking, this constant reinforcement can make you question what it is you're truly worth. It's easy to get trapped in a cycle where your worth is based on your ability to conform to these ideals. The deeper meaning behind looking younger than your years may be the way it reflects our obsession with image, and how this obsession can take away our sense of self. But perhaps there's hope to be found. The key lies in shifting our focus from appearance to essence. True beauty, the kind that goes beyond youthful skin or a smooth face, comes from within. It's in the way we show up in the world, the way we express kindness, share wisdom, and live authentically. The true measure of who we are is not in how young we look, but in the depth of our hearts and minds. Looking younger than your age might turn heads, but it's the richness of your soul that will leave a lasting impact. This, I believe, is the hidden meaning we should all embrace. One that transcends the boundaries of age and appearance. As we continue to peel back the layers of the phenomenon of looking younger than your age, we begin to see the complexity of how it influences our daily lives. The admiration for youthful appearance is deeply rooted in our society, where the young are often viewed as the ideal, the pinnacle of beauty, vitality, and energy. But if we ever stop to think about the consequences of this idealization, the pressure to remain youthful can create an inner conflict. One where we feel torn between the desire to look young and the understanding that aging is a natural part of life. Could the obsession with youth mask a deeper fear of aging itself? Why does society place so much value on looking young? And what does this reveal about how we define success, beauty, and even self-worth? The first thing we must acknowledge is that looking younger than your age isn't always about personal choice. For some, it's the result of good genes, but for others, it's an endless cycle of skincare routines, exercise regimens, and lifestyle adjustments. The effort to maintain a youthful appearance can be exhausting. You might find yourself constantly checking your reflection, obsessing over every wrinkle or imperfection. What's more, as we grow older, the fear of losing this youthful glow can become overwhelming. This deep-seated fear of aging can push us to make extreme choices, from plastic surgery to drastic beauty treatments, all in an attempt to hold on to something that inevitably slips through our fingers. The hidden meaning here is clear. Looking younger than your age is more than just vanity. It's often tied to our deepest insecurities and our fear of losing value as we grow older. We also cannot ignore how society reacts when we defy the typical aging process. When people are confronted with someone who looks significantly younger than their age, they may feel a sense of disbelief. Some might admire you while others might feel threatened or uncomfortable. In some cases, those around you may even dismiss your achievements or accomplishments, choosing to focus instead on your youthful appearance. This is the paradox of looking young. It's both a compliment and a curse. People's perception of you often becomes limited to your appearance, and that can make it difficult to be recognized for your true worth. The hidden meaning is evident. When we place so much value on physical appearance, we lose sight of the deeper aspects of human experience, such as wisdom, resilience, and character. At the same time, there is an undeniable power in looking younger than your age. Youth is often associated with an energy that transcends physical appearance. It's a vitality that speaks to a person's zest for life, their curiosity, and their capacity to embrace new experiences. When we look younger, it can feel like we have more opportunities to explore, to experiment, and to take risks. People often assume that youth equates to freedom and potential, but the catch is that this potential can be stifled by the constant pressure to maintain that youthful image. The fear of aging, of losing that precious appearance, can make us feel like we're running against the clock, never fully embracing the possibilities of the present moment. Looking younger than your age also forces us to confront the way we relate to time. Time, as it relates to our appearance, is a strange concept. On the one hand, we fight to retain our youthful looks, hoping to escape the inevitable signs of aging. On the other hand, time offers us the opportunity to grow, to deepen our understanding of the world, and to accumulate wisdom. The hidden meaning behind looking young lies in how we approach the concept of time itself. It challenges us to consider whether we view time as an enemy, something to be resisted, or as a friend offering us a deeper connection to life as we age. Are we so afraid of aging that we overlook the beauty of growth, or do we see each stage of life as a valuable experience that brings us closer to our truest self? The pressure to look younger than our age often feeds into the toxic culture of comparison. We live in an age where social media constantly bombards us with images of youthful perfection, beauty, and success. It's easy to fall into the trap of comparing ourselves to others, especially when we see people who seem to have achieved an ageless glow. The hidden meaning here is that looking young is often seen as a measure of success, and when we feel like we don't measure up, we internalize feelings of inadequacy. We forget that these images are often carefully curated and edited, an illusion of perfection that has little to do with true happiness or fulfillment. The danger lies in measuring our worth by standards that are unrealistic and unattainable, pushing us to chase an ideal that might not even align with our own desires. As we consider the deeper layers of looking younger than your age, it becomes clear that the hidden meaning isn't just about physical appearance. It's about how we relate to the passage of time and the fear of losing our vitality. We often define our value by how we look, how youthful we appear, and how others perceive us. But the more we attach our self-worth to our appearance, the more vulnerable we become to the pressures of society's expectations. The true challenge lies in shifting our perspective, from seeing our worth as defined by external beauty to understanding that our value comes from within. Our experiences, our emotions, and our growth are what truly make us beautiful, not the number of years we've lived or the appearance of our skin. Another profound element of looking younger than your age is how it affects our relationships with others. People often feel drawn to those who look young because they associate youth with freshness, openness, and possibility. Yet there can be a sense of detachment when others focus solely on your appearance and fail to recognize the richness of your inner world. This can create a feeling of isolation, as though you are being reduced to a mere visual. The deeper meaning behind looking younger than your age is the subtle reminder that our relationship should be based on more than just appearances. True connection comes from understanding, empathy, and shared experiences, not simply how young we look. In a world that values youth above all else, it's important to ask ourselves how we can redefine beauty, success, and worth. Perhaps the hidden meaning behind looking younger than your age is not just about preserving a youthful appearance, but about learning to appreciate the wisdom, resilience, and strength that come with age. Time may change our bodies, but it also enriches our souls. It's time to shift the narrative and recognize that true beauty is not tied to how young we look, but to how deeply we live, how fully we embrace our experiences, and how we continue to evolve as individuals. Looking younger than your age may get you compliments, but it's your inner strength, your character, and your authenticity that will leave the lasting impression. The fascination with looking younger than our age is deeply embedded in the fabric of our modern society. We live in a world where youthfulness is equated with success, beauty, and vitality. It's the golden standard we strive for, and it's relentlessly pushed upon us through media, advertisements, and even social interaction. But while this obsession with youth may seem harmless, the implications run much deeper. It leads us to question what we are truly valuing when we idolize youth. Is it truly beauty we seek, or is it the illusion of endless possibilities, the freedom to reinvent ourselves, and the idea that life is still ahead of us, brimming with potential? The hidden meaning behind looking younger than your age goes beyond simple aesthetics. Tapping into our collective psyche, our desire for eternal vitality, and our fear of inevitable decline, let's consider the idea of agelessness as a form of immortality. People who look younger than their age often seem to possess this ability to defy time itself. It's as if they've discovered the secret to life, a way to hold back the years to stay forever youth. In a world that's obsessed with youth, there's an undeniable appeal in this notion of eternal life, of staying vibrant and energetic no matter how many birthdays we've had. However, beneath this attraction lies a more profound truth. No matter how hard we try to preserve our youth, we cannot escape the passage of time. The hidden meaning behind looking younger than your age may be a reminder that no matter how much we fight it, time has its own rhythm, and we must learn to coexist with it rather than fight against it. But perhaps it's not just the fear of aging that drives the desire to look young. Perhaps it's the desire to remain relevant, to be seen as capable and fresh in a society that prizes innovation and newness. In many fields, especially in entertainment, business, and fashion, youthfulness is often seen as a marker of success. People who look younger are often given more opportunities, are seen as more dynamic, and are more likely to be taken seriously. This is where the tension lies. While aging is a natural process, the societal value placed on looking young can lead to exclusion for those who don't meet the standard. This creates an invisible hierarchy, where looking younger becomes a form of social capital, granting individuals access to privileges and advantages that are otherwise reserved for the young. There's a distinct psychological element to looking younger than your age. On one hand, being perceived as younger can lead to increased admiration, more opportunities, and even a sense of power. It's easy to feel like you're on top of the world when people are constantly complimenting you on your youthful appearance. However, the opposite can also be true. When people focus exclusively on your appearance, they often neglect your experience, knowledge, and accomplishments. The more you reduce to your looks, the less room there is for others to truly understand you as a person. This can leave you feeling isolated, disconnected from your true self, and frustrated by how others perceive you. The hidden meaning here is that while looking young may bring temporary advantages, it can also make you feel invisible in other more profound ways. It's a trap of society's expectations, one that diminishes the value of lived experiences in favor of superficial traits. There's also an emotional toll that comes with looking younger than your years. While compliments about your youthful appearance might feel good initially, they can soon begin to feel like a burden. The constant praise can create an unspoken pressure to maintain that appearance, leading to an unhealthy obsession with your physical image. This pressure can escalate when you feel as though you are constantly being watched, as if your value is determined solely by how young you look. The hidden meaning behind this obsession with staying youthful is often rooted in insecurity, a fear of being forgotten, overlooked, or dismissed as irrelevant as time moves on. The quest for eternal youth can be all-consuming, preventing us from embracing the natural process of aging and the beauty that comes with it. However, what if we were to embrace the concept of aging rather than fear it? What if looking younger than your age was not something to be clung to, but something to be enjoyed as a natural part of life's journey? Perhaps the hidden meaning here is that we are all constantly changing, growing, evolving, and becoming something new with each passing day. Youth is not something to chase indefinitely, but something to celebrate as it is, knowing that it's part of a larger, richer process of living. By accepting the inevitability of aging, we can focus more on cultivating the experiences, wisdom, and personal growth that define us. True beauty lies not in the appearance of youth but in the essence of a life well lived. In addition to the emotional aspects of looking younger than your age, there are also social consequences to consider. The pressure to maintain a youthful appearance can make it difficult to connect with others in an authentic way. When you are constantly praised for your looks, it's easy for relationships to become shallow. People may focus on your appearance and fail to see the real you, your thoughts, your dreams, and your vulnerabilities. This can create a sense of loneliness, as though you are only being valued for something that is fleeting and superficial. The hidden meaning here is that true connection comes from a deeper understanding, from seeing each other as more than just what we look like on the outside. Real intimacy is based on empathy, compassion, and shared experience, not just on physical beauty. The issue of aging, and by extension looking younger than our age, is also tied to societal expectations of what it means to be valuable. In many cultures, youth is synonymous with productivity, energy, and potential. When people look young, they are often seen as more capable, more adaptable, and more willing to take on new challenges. But this view overlooks the immense value of those who have lived longer, who have faced challenges, weathered storms, and gained wisdom through experience. The hidden meaning behind looking younger than your age may lie in the way we devalue the contributions of those who are older, failing to recognize the importance of their knowledge and experience. It's a harsh reminder that our society often measures worth by appearance, overlooking the intangible qualities that truly make us who we are. Yet perhaps the most important hidden meaning is the need to redefine what it means to age gracefully. Looking younger than your age might seem like an achievement, but it shouldn't be the only measure of success. Aging is not something to be feared or avoided. It's a natural part of life that offers new opportunities for growth and self-discovery. By embracing the aging process, we can shift the focus from external appearances to internal qualities, our character, our relationships, and our capacity to live fully at every stage of life. Instead of striving to look young forever, we should aspire to live with purpose, to accumulate wisdom, and to foster deep, meaningful connections with others. In this sense, the hidden meaning behind looking younger than your age is not about defying time, but about embracing it with grace and authenticity. Ultimately, looking younger than your age is just one aspect of the complex web that makes us who we are. It's a symbol of the ways in which we relate to beauty, time, and self-worth. But the real hidden meaning lies in how we navigate this obsession with youth and how we come to terms with the passage of time. We don't need to chase an illusion of eternal youth to be valued. Instead, we can find strength in embracing the fullness of our journey, accepting that with each passing year we grow not just older but wiser, more resilient, and more authentic. As we dive deeper into the layers of meaning behind looking younger than your age, we begin to realize that this obsession with appearance is often tied to a fundamental fear. The fear of being forgotten. It's a fear that we all carry whether we want to admit it or not. The idea of aging is closely linked to the concept of irrelevance in many cultures. As time passes, we begin to feel like we are slowly fading into the background, our contributions overlooked and our potential untapped. When we look younger, it feels as though we are somehow defying this natural progression, giving ourselves a sense of purpose and presence in a world that constantly rewards youth. But this desire to hold on to our youthful image may actually be a subtle form of resistance to the inevitable reality of growing older, one that seeks to stave off the fear of being forgotten or losing significance. Looking younger than your age isn't just about vanity or societal expectations. It's about trying to grasp onto a certain version of ourselves, the version that feels vital, energetic, and capable of achieving anything. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Clinging to that image is like trying to stop the flow of a river. Time moves forward, and so must we. The hidden meaning behind looking younger than your age then may be an unconscious desire to hold on to the fleeting nature of youth, a desperate attempt to preserve a time in our lives when the world felt full of endless possibilities. The real question we must ask ourselves is whether the quest for youth is about fearing obsolescence or truly wanting to preserve our vitality. We live in a society that is obsessed with outward appearances, especially when it comes to youth. The belief that looking young is an indicator of success is pervasive. This perception holds that if we look youthful, we are energetic, healthy, and capable of achieving great things. While this may be true in some cases, it ignores the complexities of life experience and the depth of knowledge that comes with age. The truth is, looking younger than our age can be an advantage in some situations, but it's a double-edged sword. People may see us as more energetic, but they may also assume that we lack the wisdom and life experience that often come with getting older. This presents a challenge. How do we reconcile the value placed on our appearance with the importance of our deeper qualities? How do we find a balance between celebrating youth and honoring the experiences that come with age? This internal struggle is not just about how others perceive us, it's about how we perceive ourselves. When we are constantly told that youth is the ideal, it can be difficult to accept the natural aging process. We may begin to feel that we are no longer valued because we no longer meet the societal standard of beauty. But here's the truth. Youth is not the sole indicator of worth. It's what we bring to the table that truly matters: our knowledge, our ability to adapt, and our capacity for empathy. The hidden meaning behind looking younger than your age then may be the realization that we are all too often focused on how we look rather than who we are. The journey of aging should be about embracing the richness of experience, not resisting the natural process of change. Moreover, we must address the pressure to conform to a certain image of youth that is perpetuated by the media and popular culture. The portrayal of youth in movies, television, and advertisements creates an unrealistic ideal that we are all supposed to strive toward. We are constantly bombarded with images of flawless, ageless beauty, faces untouched by time, bodies that appear to defy the aging process. These images can be intoxicating, making us believe that our worth is tied to our ability to look youthful. However, this ideal is far from attainable for most people. The hidden meaning behind looking younger than your age is, perhaps, a reflection of society's toxic beauty standards that set us up for failure. When we chase after an ideal that is impossible to sustain, we risk losing sight of what truly makes us valuable: our inner strength, our growth, and our character. Looking younger than our age also leads us to question the role of aging in shaping our identity. Society often tells us that the older we get, the less relevant we become. It's as though time diminishes our worth, stripping us of our ability to contribute meaningfully to the world. But this couldn't be further from the truth. Age brings with it wisdom, resilience, and a perspective that only comes from living through various stages of life. When we look younger than our age, there's a temptation to see ourselves as stuck in a particular phase of life, one that prevents us from fully embracing the gifts that come with growing older. The hidden meaning here is that while the world may reward youth, it's in aging gracefully that we find the true measure of our value. In our experiences, our ability to adapt, and the knowledge we have accumulated over time. A key part of this process is understanding that there is no singular right way to age. Aging is not a one-size-fits-all experience. Some people may embrace the aging process with open arms, while others may feel more resistant. But regardless of how we choose to navigate this journey, we must remember that the true essence of who we are does not lie in how we look, but in how we live. The hidden meaning behind looking younger than your age then may be a wake-up call to stop measuring our worth by external factors like appearance, and instead focus on cultivating the qualities that truly define us: our relationships, our passions, and our contributions to the world around us. There's also a societal component to consider when we talk about looking younger than our age. In many cultures, youth is celebrated above all else, and there's a belief that aging is something to be avoided at all costs. This can lead to a culture of denial, where people refuse to acknowledge the natural process of growing older. In such a society, those who look younger than their years are often seen as more valuable, as they are perceived as more capable and energetic. But this view is not only unrealistic, it's harmful. It creates an environment where people are afraid to age, afraid to show the natural signs of life lived well. The hidden meaning here is that we must challenge these outdated norms, celebrating every stage of life for the beauty it brings. Aging is not a decline but an evolution, a chance to grow into a more authentic version of ourselves. Looking younger than your age can also create a disconnect between how you see yourself and how others perceive you. If you constantly look younger than you are, others may have difficulty taking you seriously or respecting your achievements. This can be particularly frustrating when you feel as though your experience and knowledge should be recognized, not overshadowed by your appearance. The hidden meaning behind this is that society's obsession with youth can diminish the value of lived experience. making it difficult for older individuals to be seen for their true worth. This is why it's so important to focus on what truly matters, not how we look, but who we are and what we bring to the table. Ultimately, the hidden meaning behind looking younger than your age is not about trying to recapture lost time or defy nature. It's about understanding that aging is an inevitable part of life that should be embraced, not feared. When we let go of society's fixation on appearance and instead focus on nurturing the qualities that truly define us, we can move toward a more authentic, fulfilling life. Looking younger may feel empowering in the short term, but it's in embracing the full spectrum of our existence, from youth to old age, that we find lasting happiness and contentment. In the final part of this exploration, we must acknowledge that the journey toward understanding the hidden meaning behind looking younger than your age is one that challenges our deeply ingrained societal beliefs. These beliefs often dictate how we measure our value, based on our appearance, particularly our youthful looks. But what happens when we begin to peel away these layers and reflect on the true source of our self-worth? Can we begin to understand that our essence is not confined to our outer appearance but to our deeper quality? The hidden meaning behind looking younger than your age is not just about defying time, but rather a reflection of how we relate to the fleeting nature of youth, the passage of time and the wisdom that comes with age. As we age, society may tell us that we lose our vitality and energy, but in reality, it is often the opposite. The energy we have in our later years is not necessarily the same kind of energy we had when we were younger, but it is a different, perhaps even more powerful form of vitality. When we look younger than our age, we may be held to an expectation of maintaining a certain level of energy that may not be sustainable. This pressure can lead to stress and dissatisfaction, as we continuously try to live up to a standard that isn't necessarily aligned with our natural rhythm. The hidden meaning behind looking young, therefore, may be the implicit demand for perpetual energy and productivity, rather than appreciating the more nuanced and reflective form of energy that older age often brings. This constant obsession with youth also leads us to question how we define happiness and fulfillment. Are we truly happy when we look young, or are we simply appeasing a societal standard that values appearance over substance? The quest to look younger may stem from a desire to avoid confronting the deeper questions about life, our purpose, our growth, and our evolution as human beings. Instead of embracing the complexities and richness that come with aging, we are taught to fear it. But what if we could reframe aging as something that deepens our happiness? The hidden meaning behind looking younger than your age might be that we are trying to avoid confronting this deeper truth, opting instead for a surface-level pursuit of perpetual youth. Consider, too, the way aging is viewed across different cultures. In some societies, age is revered. Older individuals are seen as wise, respected, and valuable, with their experiences seen as a treasure trove of knowledge. In these cultures, looking younger than your age might not carry the same societal pressure as it does in places where youth is idolized. This contrast speaks volumes about how arbitrary our ideals of beauty and worth truly are. The hidden meaning behind looking younger than your age could be a subtle critique of a globalized, youth-obsessed culture that values appearances over substance. It challenges us to ask whether we're truly living in accordance with what matters most, or if we're simply conforming to an external standard that doesn't serve our deeper needs. In fact, many of us spend our lives chasing after a version of ourselves that society deems acceptable, one that remains youthful, energetic, and eternally fresh. But this pursuit is fraught with pitfalls. We risk neglecting the parts of ourselves that age offers: the wisdom, the emotional depth, the capacity for empathy, and the richness of lived experience. The more we focus on looking young, the less we focus on the actual process of living fully. The hidden meaning behind the desire to look younger than your age may lie in our fear of losing these qualities that are often seen as less valued in a youth-obsessed world. But it is these very qualities that hold the key to authentic, lasting happiness. Moreover, as we age, we begin to realize that time is the ultimate teacher. Time shapes us, molds us, and reveals the contours of our character. It is through living fully that we discover our true selves, our strengths, our vulnerabilities, and our capacity to adapt to life's challenges. The hidden meaning behind the desire to look younger than your age may be an unconscious longing to hold on to a moment in time when we felt like we had all the answers, when the world seemed full of promise and opportunity. But perhaps the real beauty lies not in holding on to those moments, but in embracing the new opportunities that each stage of life presents. In aging, we are given the chance to continually redefine ourselves, to shape new identities, and to explore new possibilities. A crucial part of this understanding is the role of self-acceptance. In a society where the youth-driven narrative dominates, it can be difficult to accept the natural course of aging. But the hidden meaning behind looking younger than your age may be an invitation to embrace the fullness of our existence, to stop chasing an idealized version of ourselves and start honoring the person we are becoming with each passing year. Aging should not be seen as a loss, but as a gift, a reminder that we are constantly evolving, gaining new insights, and moving toward a more authentic, deeper version of ourselves. As we reflect on the meaning of looking younger than your age, we must also consider the mental and emotional toll it takes. The fear of aging can lead to a preoccupation with appearance that detracts from more important pursuits. The more we invest in trying to preserve our looks, the less energy we have to devote to things that truly matter, like nurturing relationships, pursuing passions, or making meaningful contributions to the world. The hidden meaning behind looking younger than your age, then, may not just be about wanting to look good, but about a deeper longing to feel significant and valued. The pursuit of eternal youth is often a symptom of a deeper desire for connection, purpose, and recognition, things that can't be sustained by appearance alone. At the end of the day, the hidden meaning behind looking younger than your age is complex and multifaceted. It is a reflection of the societal pressures we face, the insecurities we harbor, and the unrealistic expectations we place on ourselves. But it is also an invitation to reevaluate our relationship with time, aging, and self-worth. It challenges us to stop measuring our value by external standards, and instead focus on what truly matters: our inner strength, our capacity to grow, and our ability to live authentically at every stage of life. Looking younger than your age may be a compliment, but it's the wisdom, the authenticity, and the depth that we cultivate as we grow older that truly define us. So, what is the hidden meaning behind looking younger than your age? It is a reminder that we are more than just our physical appearance. It's an invitation to embrace the process of aging with grace, to value ourselves for who we are, and to live fully in the present moment. It's about letting go of the need to conform to society's fleeting ideals, and instead finding fulfillment in the richness of life's journey, one that continues to unfold, no matter how old we are.